Hi, I'm René Carayol, and I'm very privileged to be joined today by the new Chief Executive Officer of ING, Ralph Hammers. Ralph, very few of us in our careers get the opportunity to be Chief Executive of a business unit, let alone a large financial services organisation like ING. How does it feel?
It's a real challenge to take on, not only given the challenges that the institution itself faces and the market developments and regulatory developments, but it's also a real challenge to take on given the public opinion on the financial institutions and the financial industry in general. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to do it, and I'm actually also a little bit proud to take this forward.
So transformation means good business.
Yeah, transformation.
Industry transformation.
Yeah, and understanding is absolutely key.
So
this
I
is why.
get it. So the brands mean nothing.
I think the brands do matter. People will form a view very quickly on the different types of firms. And I was speaking to a new analyst we've taken on, and she said, the reason I chose PA is I could specialise much earlier than the other firms. I wasn't going to go into a big resource pool.
There's the value and trust combination that you need to identify.
Conversations we started having in the first half was around culture. And culture is so much more powerful than strategy. No matter how tough the strategy, no matter how great the strategy, no matter superb and pristine the strategy, if the culture's working against it, nothing happens. This is your time. You've heard me provoke. Now let's have the real questions. And John, I start with you. I'm coming back to you again.
Mundane in society. That is not the mark of meritocracy.
So let's take a view.
I have to agree with everything that John says there. I agree.
What I was hearing from John is that we've got to be a little bit more honest about where we are at the moment before we can build a plan.
I think John's views are very personal, and I think that's a reflection of his life and not mine. I think we have been very honest. I mean, how much honesty you want from me? I told you I think the whole thing needs to reorganizing and re-examining from the very top down. I mean, what else do you want me to say? So I think that's a bit unfair.
I don't think it's unfair. I think it's spot on. I think actually, in reality, we're not really talking about the issues of inherent racism right now.
So hold a minute, Michelle. Making some assumptions for your colleagues on the panel. Are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware of the issues?
I think we're here sharing our experiences. We can only tell you what's happened to us and what we believe in. So it can't focus just on what Michelle is saying. It has to be.
Should do though.
But we can't.
Let me take a question from the audience, please.
Always felt guilty. But women must step up and say, I want to do it.
Can men let go of that power and that control? Or do we need a different source for our leadership?
Here's the problem, right? I mean, it's already gone. It's gone because consumers are driving all these businesses.
So to set us up today, I've got a couple of really fabulous interviews coming up for you. But I wanted to get us into why this leadership thing? What are we trying to build here? What does it actually give us? And it's the high-performing organisation. It's the winners. And there was a time when I was starting out my career, there were some businesses, we called them academy businesses. So where to next? In terms of, let's move you a little bit into the culture. Where to next? We're starting to get the semblance of a really good team together. And the last day and a half tells me that there's energy in the room, there's desire in the room, we've got some great ability here, but let's be honest, it's a group of talented individuals that we're forming into a team. We're not quite there yet. In terms of the culture of that team and the attributes of that team, what would you two like to see that would demonstrate, or they're indicators of success to you? What would you like to see next?
Results. No, let me explain that a bit more, because I often say culture. There is no such a thing as the culture of companies,
We've got 10 minutes before the break. I'd like to go to the audience and pick up some questions whilst I've got the three of you here. So let me set the scenes. We've had a day and a half. We've looked at leadership. We've looked at engagement. We've looked at what the future holds. We did the 4 Ps, very clear on us. So around the 4, we coalesced around the 4 Ps, which I think was interesting because they more or less matched what Belen was said her targets were. Questions. It's rare to get all the leaders up here in one go. Can I have a microphone here, please, sir? John.
So, yeah, thank you for that.
John, how long have you been with the organisation?
Now about 24 hours, yeah.
Thank you very much.
The newest of
A
the
veteran. Sir.
2-day veteran.